You're listening to The Starting Block on TAVshow.com.
The following program is recommended for mature individuals and may contain material unsuitable for morons, cretins, and dishwipes. If you are a moron or a member of the PTL Club, please turn off your radio, because we don't need any more stupid, narrow-minded, pencil-neck geeks who wouldn't know the First Amendment if it came up and bit them on the butt. Thank you.
Okie dokie, roll 'em!
Nothing to rearrange. Sometimes you just get a feeling like you need some kind of change.
Hey, we're Starting Block for another week. Big show as always. We've got court dates, we've got lawsuits, we've got cancel everything, we've got fact, we've got story time, and we got Benjamin Button Hot Toss. What? And much more here on the block. Greeno here from the Starting Block. On behalf of the block, we just wanted to let you all know that we're all in this together. Well, except if you have coronavirus, then stay the fuck away. But in every other situation, we're in it together. To all of you on the front lines, those of you turning a footstool, a wok, and a pitchfork into a home gym, those of you who have given your housemates a mental breakdown because you decided lockdown was a great time to learn the keyboard and the only thing you can play after 8 weeks is chopsticks over and over and over again. And those of you who are homeschooling and are now understanding the question you used to harass your maths teacher with of, when the fuck are we ever going to need to know this in the real world, is coming back to bite you on the ass. Just remember, like a 1990s Australian sitcom, we're all in this together. The days may be long, but in times like this, you can rest assured we will be here to waste an hour of your week, Friday nights Australian time, at dlive.tv/The Starting Block. So take care, social distance, whack on a mask, and subscribe to our show on iTunes. It may not cure coronavirus, but it sure will help us with our rankings. And isn't that really the most important thing right now?
Public Radio's loss is TAVshow.com's gain. You're listening to The Starting Block.
Hey, welcome to Starting Block for another week. You got myself, Greeno, and I'm joined by a man who's late for once with an actual legitimate reason for being late. My co-captain Damo, what we sir?
Very good, Greeno. Fuck you. I've always got a legitimate reason. You know, I was out having a cigarette.
Yeah.
I was getting high. I was drinking. You know, I forgot. The gear wasn't working. You know, there's always a legitimate reason. I mean, give me some credit, mate.
Yeah.
Christ. I'm a professional, Greeno.
Yeah.
Fucking professional out here. doing the hard yards.
Well, anyway, there's a difference between reasons and excuses. I think the ones you just listed, excuses, the reason your lateness today was a reason.
Decide, yeah, let's open the show with a little story time. Yeah.
I like stories about pinatas.
Reason we were late to start today is because today was my wife's best friend's 40th birthday, Greeno. So happy birthday, B. You know her well, the lovely B. So she's 40. She's got a second on the way, Greeno. Little 2-year-old running around and a second on the way.
Chaos.
Yeah, fucking chaos, mate. I did ask her, I said, how do you think you're going to go? You know, because now you've got the little 2-year-old and, 2-year-old doing what a 2-year-old does, and she's in everything and running around and going nuts. I said, how do you think you're going to go when you've got her and then you've got like another little one, like a little baby one? She's like, I don't know. I think it'll be all right. I'm like, yeah, but aren't you concerned? My concern is that you're going from, 2-on-1 to 1-on-1. That's the problem.
Man-on-man defense,
They'll expose your weaknesses, like you can always team up and, you can corral and, tag someone in. It's like a tag team match where you're only playing against one guy, because the other guy's been hit over the head with a chair or something. He's out, he's done. Forget about him.
So, slept in 3 days,
Yeah, exactly. So you've always got that problem, don't you? It's like, well, now what the hell do we do? Now we don't have the numerical advantage anymore, Greeno.
Yeah.
So that's a problem. So we're at the lovely Bee's birthday. But the reason that I wanted to kick off the show with a story time for you was because earlier in the week, we were discussing how wonderful it is that the Formula One was on at such a time because it was being done in the middle of the night in the United States in Las Vegas, Greeno.
Yeah.
Viva Las Vegas. Yeah. That it's like prime time over here. So it's like,
3 in the afternoon.
3 in the afternoon.
Perfect time.
Now, I would have been watching this except that I had to be on a Teams meeting for work between 3:30 and 4:30 in the car on the way to the 40th birthday.
Yeah.
So I couldn't even enjoy like radio version of Formula One. I had to be there talking about, fucking profit margins and shit.
Yeah.
It was god awful. And I was like, God, this is the first practice session. I can't believe I'm missing the first practice session of the Las Vegas Grand Prix. I could have had it on in the background. I could have been enjoying the Formula One and just doing my work. But instead, some asshole has called a fucking meeting on a Friday afternoon. What the fuck is going on? So we're in the car. I'm in the meeting. We're on our way to a 40th birthday. It's chaos, basically. It's chaos. Yeah. And I get to the birthday. Now, we're waiting for the birthday girl to arrive.
Surprise party or just late?
Not kind of a surprise party. Not the kind of surprise party where you'd want to spring it on someone who's 7 months pregnant, Because
very good call. Yeah.
Right?
You don't want to up that heart rate. Yeah.
You don't want to have an accident, on the staircase on the way into the house. So
you don't want to share a birthday.
No, definitely not. So it was just family and us, basically. So it was a quiet little gathering, and we were just waiting for her to come home and be like, hey, happy birthday, have some dinner. You can't drink, obviously, but the rest of us will. So, before she arrived, I got in, and her fella put on. He's a great guy. He put on the Formula One. And
what you thought was going to be the F1.
Well, he's a big sports guy, so I knew something would be on.
Yeah.
And basically, he had, like, when I walked in on Foxtel, they had that screen where it's like the HD channel, and it's like, your live event has not started. And they were showing Formula One, like, images, like still images, and I must have been watching it for like 10 minutes. Just dropping hints, because you can't pick up another man's remote. That's akin to touching another man's tongs on a barbecue. You'd never do that.
Nature. Yeah,
no, that's it. So I'm looking at it, and I'm kind of looking at him, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, hey, can we, And so he flicks it over, and when you flick it on Foxtel, you can see like how long of the program's left, and there's only like 5 minutes left, and they're showing a garage, and I'm like, oh, did I miss the practice? And he's like, oh, no, you didn't miss the practice. I'm like, what do you mean?
We did. You missed 8 minutes of the practice.
You missed 8 minutes of the practice.
Yeah.
He goes on to tell me that. He goes, no, you must have been in the car when this was going on. I'm like, yeah, of course I was. I couldn't wait to see what happened. I said, I'm going to watch the replay tonight. And he goes, no, you're not. And I said, yeah, no, that's my plan. I'm going to go home and I'm going to watch the practice replay of Formula One.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, you're not. I'm like, what do you mean I'm not? That's what I'm doing. And he's like, no, you're not because it didn't happen. I'm like, what do you mean it didn't happen? Right? It was like a fucking Abbott Costello bit. You know?
Well, yeah, who's on first? Exactly.
Yeah. And I'm like, what do you mean it didn't happen? He's like, no. They did 2 laps and then there were like little manhole covers that were getting sucked up by the drag of the cars and ruining the cars. They wrecked 2 cars. I'm like, what do you mean they wrecked 2 cars? He's like, no, I'm telling you. So the cars at this new Las Vegas circuit that we were all excited about that was going to happen, you know, because of the time difference and, you know, hey, new street course, Greeno, you know, it's good stuff, isn't it? New street circuit. We love street circuits in this part of the world.
Street circuits are good. I didn't like the idea of it being in Vegas in general, though. It seemed like it was really just kind of like shoveling the F1 down the Americans' throat on the back of the success of Drive to Survive. It was literally like the Netflix Grand Prix.
This is the Netflix Grand Prix. And I was all for it because they're doing it in the middle of the night. So it was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
For our viewing. So that was the only reason I was happy about it.
Yeah, fuck the Seppos, Greeno. We get one in prime time for a change, you know? Yeah. So I was fuck them, you know. Yeah, you can do it. But hey, let's be reasonable here. At, you know, 11, 12 o'clock at night, all of Las Vegas is still fucking awake. And Las Vegas doesn't wake up till 2 in the afternoon, you know?
Oh, no, it was 9 p.m. in Vegas, I think, when the practice was
Practice, but when is the race starting? Like 11 o'clock at night or something crazy?
Yeah, I think it's about 10 o'clock at night. But once again, it's also about temperature as well, because like Vegas during the day, they're in the middle of fucking desert.
Yeah, so
even though
it's fucking cold in the middle of winter in the desert, though. That's the thing.
So it's interesting they've chosen to do it when they have, but... That's what they've decided to do. But the circus that was the track.
Well, I mean, the reason that they've chosen to do it, it's got nothing to do with the temperature. Don't fall for any of that propaganda bullshit. The reason that they're doing it in the middle of the night is because when you think of Las Vegas, you don't think of Las Vegas at fucking 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Greeno.
Yeah.
You think of Las Vegas at night with all of the light shows going and the fucking laser lights going off in the air and the fountains which are backlit and all the fucking hotels and stuff that they're going to be driving past. You know, that's what you think of when you think of Las Vegas. So I appreciate the fact, we'll do it at 11 o'clock at night because this town is not asleep at 11. This town's just getting warmed up at 11 o'clock at night, you know? Yeah. So, you know, fair enough. But apparently, so there's these little drain covers, right? I haven't seen it. I need to look this up on it. Surely someone's posted a video on Twitter of this shit.
It's in the chat.
Is it where is it in the chat? Is it really
the BE Indy Day Troy and me chat?
I need to see the video. I haven't seen a video yet. Is this you?
Yeah.
Practice 2 will commence.
Go up about 4 messages.
Okay, the 9-second one. We're going to need more than 9 seconds.
The 14-second one.
Okay, 14 isn't going to do.
2 up. Yeah, 2 up.
14's not good enough either.
That's the video from the Bellagio.
Okay. All right. Well, okay, this might have to do. I want more than 14 seconds, though. Just putting it out there.
This gives you the best look. Just have a look. What happened?
Oh, no, that's not the best look. I want to see the onboard.
The onboard, all you see is like he's going over a speed bump, and you don't see anything behind it. This shows how much he fucked up the car.
Nice,
Welcome to Las Vegas. And so that fucked up 3 cars. So
3 cars, was it? They ruined 3 cars.
Well, two or 3 cars.
So hang on, I haven't got through the description yet. So the way it was described to me was that there's these little like drain covers in the streets there. They're not manhole covers because they're smaller than that. They're like the size of if you got your 2 hands together and made a circle.
Well, go back into the DM. Scroll down to the next one, and that shows a picture of it.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. All right. So I got told that these tiny little things, and what they did was they welded these things to the ground because obviously,
concrete.
Well, obviously, you know, Formula One cars, you know, I don't know how, you know, au fait you are with aerodynamics, but what Formula One cars do is basically they stick to the ground because
sucking up the ground
because they're sucking up what's under the air underneath it and then forcing the car down. You know, basically if you took all the aero on a Formula One car and turned it upside down, the thing would take off like a plane, Formula One cars have so much aerodynamics that you could logically drive them upside down on a roof and it would stick to the roof, right? So it's got a lot of pressure keeping it planted wherever it is. And so basically these cars were driving over these little manhole covers or whatever the fuck they were, and they're sucking up so much air that the thing was coming out of the ground and smashing through the car and destroying the
car.
Nice, Gary!
But the beautiful part of this was I'm hearing this and I'm like, that's fucking crazy. How could they not think of that? And he's going, no. They welded the thing to like the rest of the piece, but the whole piece came out of the ground.
Piece came up, yeah.
It's not even just the cover,
Like this obviously isn't the only place that has manhole covers. There's other street tracks that have them, but what they do, they concrete them down.
Yeah.
So they concrete over them.
Yeah,
which is what they didn't bother doing. Now there was a bloke, the 9-second clip you were referring to. There was a bloke who called out before the practice even started, like a couple of days ago.
Really?
Going, hey, look, they haven't really done anything with these manhole covers. I wonder if that's going to cause any issues.
Oh, now I need to see this clip. All right, let's have a look. Let's have a look at this fella. Hunty Sleppy, whoever the fuck he is. Hunter Sleppy should be the next celebrity on the Formula One Twitter circuit, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a look at him. Hunter Sleppy. Let's have a look.
Behind me, I can see some manhole covers here. On other tracks, they weld those down, but I wonder whether that will actually be on the track come Thursday for the first session.
Oh.
Nice, Gary!
They called it. That's a Nostra Hunter there.
Nostra Sleppy there, Greeno.
Nostra Sleppy, that one. So he called it.
But the beautiful thing here is, right now, so I missed the whole practice session, and like I was going to come home and watch the practice session, and clearly there was no practice session because cars were being fucking destroyed by manhole covers that were getting sucked up from the aerodynamics. This is fucking ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so there was like an hour break. And then we were still at the party and, we're having a drink and having some nibblies, and there was some homemade pizza getting flown around, and we're all having a chit chat, and the little baby BoogieBumper baby's charming everyone like she does, walking around doing the things that she does. And, oh, isn't she gorgeous? And they're, yeah, she's gorgeous. And then a replay of the American Las Vegas Grand Prix opening ceremony came on, Greeno. Now,
Nice, Gary!
There's no racing to show, so let's
all
go
of a
back
sudden,
to the opening ceremony.
Yeah, so all of a sudden now you don't know this, but a couple of days ago, someone in one of my sim racing groups had mentioned that he just watched the opening ceremony of the F1 Grand Prix in Las Vegas, and he couldn't wait for the race. And I thought to myself, I've never seen a Formula One opening ceremony before. I didn't even know that was a thing, but now it is, apparently. And so I'm watching the replay, and we've got 30 Seconds to Mars was on there, Jared Leto's band, and we've got a whole bunch of Americans. Keith Urban did a couple of songs.
Kylie Minogue up there.
Kylie Minogue was doing a show or two.
Yeah.
And I'm now almost in tears laughing just watching this opening ceremony, because you have to remember, I've watched it backwards, so I've seen the fuck up. I've heard the fuck up of the practice.
You've gone the mess. Yeah, you've seen
and
the mess.
Then
You've
seen the opening ceremony. And I turned to B's fella and I said, isn't this so fucking typically American? And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, look, they probably put more effort into the opening. They probably put more effort into Keith Urban's choreography of his opening ceremony show than they did the fucking track the race is supposed to be on.
I ironically, I was similar. I missed it all and then remembered it was on. So I went to put it on. I'm like, why is it finished? This is weird. Like,
why is it over already?
Like, I'm meant to be in like the meat of the F1 practice here. I was looking forward to this. And then went back to the start of the coverage. I'm like, surely I got to see what happened. So I went back to the start and I caught the first like 10 minutes of the overall broadcast where they were like, the FIA has just inspected the track. They've given it the all clear. There were a few concerns about barriers, but that's all been squared away. So we're chip-top and looking forward to a big session ahead. So the FIA had actually gone and inspected all the track, failed to identify the very dangerous manhole covers that weren't actually concreted or welded down. So well done there to the FIA. They're like, well, even if they did notice, they probably did notice, and they're like, well, if we don't if we don't mention anything, like, we can't get this bad boy underway, so we need to get moving. We've already had Keith Urban play. We can't get Keith back out.
Can we get Kylie back out for another stint? It's like, no, she's nearly 60 now. Kylie doesn't have that much stamina these days.
Yeah,
like, she
still looks tidy. We'll give her
she's
that.
very tidy. Is Kylie, a question off the cuff here, Green?
Nice, Gary.
Is Kylie the fittest over 50-year-old that you've ever seen? Close to it?
Yeah, not far off.
I reckon it's between her and Sofia Vergara, Greeno.
Nah, Salma Hayek, I'd put top of the list.
Salma Hayek's up there. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Nice, Gary.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about J-Lo, Greeno?
J-Lo's definitely up there. Yeah, I'd have her ahead of Kylie as well.
Kylie's up there.
There's some over 50 fitness.
Yeah. Plus
there or
50
thereabouts,
fitness.
but these people are also millionaires and spend all their time with personal trainers.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look at this.
What's up, F1? Are you ready for your travel?
Yeah, I'm ready. Is the track ready or?
I've been watching like
what is this crap?
I don't know.
What is this crap?
I've recently been binge watching the old series 30 Rock. I'd seen it before, but because I'd only seen sporadic episodes, I didn't find it amusing.
Yeah.
But I went back and watched it from the start and realized, like, okay,
The genius of Tina
it's
Fey.
actually it's actually really, really good.
Tina Fey, one of the few females on planet Earth who's actually genuinely funny, I think.
Hysterical. Like,
Not
really
many of
well
them.
written. Yeah. But that guy there reminds me of the character. I'm like, that seems like a piss take. That's like Tracy
That's
Jordan.
Tracy Morgan, yeah.
Yeah.
Whoever the
but
fuck
then-
he is, yeah. Look, we're
And then,
introducing drivers here, Greeno.
They got drivers, they're coming up in floats. Now, you need to go to the Red Bull one
Yeah.
when they get to that. Because I just want to see something, the reaction of Max to this.
Okay. I don't think Max would be into this.
Well, I'm going to explain in a minute.
Was it on the show last week where we discussed that your newfound kind of, not love for Max, but definitely you've come around a little bit?
I've come around, and I came around a little bit more earlier today.
Because he's more of a Kimmy than you realise, Greeno. He's like,
he's got a bit of Kimmy about him.
this is bullshit. Like, I'm not doing this shit, like
These guys aren't just standing on a podium, they're getting like aero lifted up.
Now, see, look at Lewis. Now, Lewis,
loves it.
He loves the attention. And
Lewis has
George,
been wearing a different
different Tag
costume.
Heuer watch every day.
No. He's been wearing different outfits as he strundles around the backstage areas.
Lewis is such a.
I saw 4 different Lewis outfits today.
He's the only guy. He's the only guy I know, other than my former roommate, who we won't mention his name because he'd be terribly embarrassed if everybody knew this. But my former roommate, who I lived with for about a year, who he used to shower like 4 times a day and get changed in different clothes. Like, we'd go out for the night because we lived across the road from the club, and everyone go, "Where is he?" And he's gone home and he got changed, had a shower, and come back out again. I'm like, what are you doing, mate? You don't need to get changed 3 times a night. He would get changed 3 times a night because we would go to karaoke and stuff across the road. And he'd be like, "All right, my song's coming up in probably 20 minutes. I'll be right back." And he'd race home, have a shower and get changed, put on a new outfit and come back out again.
We've got to get dressed for the performance.
Get dressed for the performance. So he's the new Lewis Hamilton. Now, I think George Russell is just taking it all in because I quite like George Russell. I think I like him.
I'm still torn. I like him, and then he does things that kind of annoy me. And then he comes across a bit of a brat.
He's kind of like the British.
Like
he's kind of like the British Takuma Sato, but I've heard an interview with him where he was talking about, like, I think he has daddy issues. Honestly, honestly. So what was happening was like, so did you know George Russell has an older brother who's like 8 years older than him, who was like a really good kart racer?
Okay. Yep.
Okay. Have you heard that before?
No, I haven't. No.
Okay. So George Russell's older brother was like a super kart racer, but he started like when he was 12. So he was already, like, this is how crazy Formula One is. He was already too old to be a Formula One driver because he started kart racing when he was 12, right?
Yeah.
You have to start when you're like 6, or 5, and then maybe you've got a chance. Like, that's how ridiculous it is. So I've heard George Russell, like in this interview, talk about like, and so his brother was like a super talented driver and started kart racing when he was 12. But then when he went to uni, he cared more about, we've all been down this road. Well, I have anyway. You have these talents and you just burn them up because it's like, well, he cared more about getting high and partying and girls, all that kind of shit, getting drunk and, that kind of stuff. So he didn't care so much about his karting career anymore. And so George being 8 years younger, right, what happened was his dad invested so much into his older brother's karting career.
Like, I'm wasting all this effort.
Yeah. So when George came around, George said his reward for winning a race was having KFC on the way home after a race. And if he didn't win the race, his dad wouldn't talk to him for like a week.
Yeah, it's concerning.
Like he'd be so fucking disappointed in him. So I feel like a lot of like George has like a real kind of like I'm fucking doing it kind of thing. But he's also a team man as well, which I I respect the hell out of. I really like a good team guy. I really dislike the Schumachers, the Lewis Hamiltons of the world who don't.
Verstappen's.
No, Verstappen's just a fucking king. Like he doesn't have to be the team. You don't have to play the team game.
You have to be the team man when you're out in front by 48 seconds.
Exactly, right? Yeah. But it's like Vettel, for example, was not a good team guy, and that's probably.
Well, actually, no, Verstappen's not a good team man either because last year, second last race of the year, they asked him to let Checo get past so he could secure second in the championship, and he refused to do it. And then Checo ended up like losing the final race and got third in the championship. So but
it's not like
he's not a team man at all.
No, I can see that. Fair enough. No, that's a fair point. But I still don't think he's in the same realm of like Lewis and Schumacher and like Nico Rosberg is for me. Nico Rosberg is an eternal douchebag. He's one of the douchiest douchebags who ever douched, Greeno.
Except for the year he beat
Lewis. But he still beat Lewis Hamilton that 1 year. And then he retired the next year, didn't he?
Next year. So Lewis could never get beaten for the title. That was,
That's classic. That's gold, I reckon. He retired when he was like in his prime. And he's like, no, I beat Lewis. That's good enough for me.
Lewis got the title. Thanks for that.
Good on him.
Yeah.
So I like George Russell, but he's got a lot of baggage. Now, so Lewis is a big fucking celebrity in the United States, Greeno, because he was
banging the Pussycat Doll.
Yeah, he was banging the Pussycat Doll, and he does a lot of kind of woke stuff. Yeah, whereas George is more your quintessential kind of British boy, isn't he? Mm-hmm. He's very polite. Incidentally, do you know how George Russell got his drive with Mercedes? Do you know that story? I think George Russell is like a fascinating person. When he was 16, George Russell, I don't know if you know this story or not, he was driving with like a Formula 3 team or something, okay? So he's been through the stage of dad won't talk to me and I'm not getting KFC for a week. He's been through that. And he's now in like this semi-professional kind of Formula 3 team. And he just so happened to come across by someone else, like, it's so funny the way opportunity works in life. Someone else in the team had Toto Wolff's email address, right?
Oh, I remember you did tell me this story. Yeah, I think we saw it on the show like a couple of weeks ago.
No, I don't think I did. I don't think I told you a story about Toto Wolff's email address. Did I? Maybe I could have done.
Yeah.
So he took a punt and he was like 16 or something crazy. And he thought to himself, all right, they've just won the world championship. I'm just going to send him an email. And he literally sent Toto Wolff an email. Yeah, I did tell this. He sent Toto Wolff an email and said, hi, my name's George Russell. I race in the British Formula 3 and I'd love to sit down with you and talk with you one day. And within 5 minutes, Toto Wolff replied to him and said, okay, here's my PA's, the PA was in copy and we'll meet. And he talked to him in January, like a month later. And that's he just took the opportunity. Like I love stories like that. He had a little opening, and the way George talks about it was, he's like, you have to, like, it was just luck. So much of this is luck. If they didn't win the championship that year and I emailed him, he wouldn't have read it. because he would have been pissed off about the championship. But it just so happened at that exact moment,
at the right time.
They won the championship, and he's looking through his emails. They're basically on vacation. He's probably cleaning up his inbox, and then this new one comes in, and he just so happened to be looking through his emails when it came in, and he saw it, and he replied to me. And that's the fucking story. The rest is history. Like, it is fucking nuts how, the universe works sometimes. Sooner or later, Lewis is going to have to retire, right? What is he now, 38?
Yeah, he'd be thereabouts.
Okay, now, I think Fernando Alonso is an outlier. I don't think everyone can be Fernando Alonso. I do think Lewis is supremely fit, and he's an athlete, but I don't think he's got Fernando Alonso longevity in him. I don't. Because I think Fernando is crazy.
He's still racing. He's still at the front of the grid. Well, I can see Lewis continue racing till the end of time.
For another 4 or 5 years?
Easy.
I think Lewis will
He's going to finish second in the championship.
I think Lewis will get more opportunities racing in sports cars or something, or doing NASCAR or IndyCar or something, and getting big American endorsements and fucking more pussycat dolls or something, and he'll take that. You know what I mean? Maybe. That's what I think. I don't know. I'm not sure Lewis is going to stick around in Formula One forever. I don't think he'll be there as long as Fernando will. I think Fernando will still be in Formula One when he's 50, to be honest with you.
Yeah, keep kicking on.
Genuinely. But at some point, Lewis is going to retire, and then George Russell will be the guy. And when George Russell becomes the guy, then I think George Russell could easily get 3, 4, 5 championships himself, because I think he's
he's got the out-and-out talent. Just needs the right car. So
but he's aggro as well. That's the thing. If he's not winning, he puts it in the fucking wall. And I think that comes from the fact that he's worried that if he doesn't win, he won't get KFC on the way home because of the way his dad treated him.
No, just has like the bucket just around the pit wall.
George, you can have KFC whenever you want, mate. It's fine. You got millions. It's not a problem.
Come on in.
Yeah.
Free practice 2 is underway, by the way. They rescheduled it to 2 a.m. in the morning. So I'm sure the drivers are loving that.
Is it happening now, is it?
It's happening now. There's no crowd because all the crowd's left because it's fucking 2 in the morning.
Really? I thought they'd be up at 2 in the morning. It's Las Vegas. Bunch of fags. Come on.
Anyway.
What are you doing?
There's no one there. So they've made him go back out at 2 in the morning. I haven't seen any crashes yet. But here's the biggest dick move of them all. Let's give F1 a dick move.
Yep.
You dick!
If all that wasn't enough of a shambles that's happened today, Carlos Sainz has been given a 10-race grid penalty because that manhole cover fucked up his engine, so he's had to replace the engine, but he's already used up his engine allocation. So they've given him a 10-place grid penalty.
Dick!
No, they can't do that. They can't do that.
They did. They just did it.
They can't. That is... Carlos Sainz is so harshly treated sometimes.
I swear, like they went in there like, how can you penalise us for this? It wasn't our fault. They still gave it to him.
Wow,
so, dick move there to F1 to go with all the other dick moves this weekend.
Oh my god!
Do
you remember when Carlos Sainz? There was one race there where it finished under safety car because of the rain, and Carlos Sainz got like a 10-second penalty or something. Do you remember the one? He got a 10-second penalty, and it was kind of 50-50 whether he deserved the penalty in the first place, but that's immaterial. But the race was finishing under safety car. So a 10-second penalty will take him takes him from 3rd to last because they're all going to be there under the safety car. They can't race, you know.
Yeah.
And he's on the radio going, you can't let them do this. This is so unjust. This is ridiculous, you know. And they're like, sorry, Carlos, there's nothing we can do. So of course, you know, he comes across the line in, 4th, but he's got a 10-second penalty, and every other arsehole in the field finishes within 10 seconds of him.
They were telling the people finishing like 18, 19, 20th, you need to be right up the arse of the other guy because Sainz has got a 10 place.
Exactly. So everyone gets bumped up one place, and poor old Carlos goes from 4th to last. And again, the actual penalty that he got was kind of like, it wasn't even that bad. Like, it was 50-50.
No, it was just cutting the corners or something. Like,
something
race limits.
Yeah, just the way it worked out, you know. It's like he just ends up like it finishes on the safety car. This isn't fair.
To the point I was raising before, my respect for Max, the bit today.
Yeah, can we say? Wait, we haven't seen Max yet. Pardon me.
Sorry. Max, he'll be next. So just I just want to see him come
this
up.
is Max. Okay, let's have a look at Max in this
That's
in the,
Max.
in the opening ceremony here.
Yeah, I think so. All right, so they get him to go up in the airlift. There's Max. Now
He
he
does
said,
not want to be there, does he?
He said they asked him like, "Oh, Max, you know they're going to do the pre-race press and shit," and like, "Max, are you excited about this?" He said, "No, this is a massive joke. Like, it's 99% show, 99% show, 1% sporting event."
Nice, Gary!
Yeah, I mean, he's not wrong. He's not
But then
wrong.
Red Bull had to come out and be like, "Oh, like this is kind of a bad look. You've got a guy criticizing your world champions criticizing the event." And Christian Horner, to his credit, said, "Well, like
Max
you
can
know,
say
Max,
what he wants. Yeah.
you know, Max, like he hates all the bullshit other than the driving.
Mm-hmm.
So like this weekend, it's more of everything else than any other event anywhere else. He just wants to drive the car." He goes, "Unfortunately, that's part of the job, but Max hates that bit."
Yeah, but unfortunately, he can't drive the car because you guys didn't weld the fucking manholes down enough.
Yeah.
Like,
Red Bull didn't do it. They don't want their car fucked up either. But yeah, so that's the F1 circus that is. Let's see if this free practice 2 gets underway.
it really is a circus, isn't it? And this is why we love Formula. It's the drama and the fucking Hollywood of it. But Formula One Hollywood, like you can't. The Americans, man. I know. Look, I love you, America. You know I love you, but there are some things that if you could just pull it back a little bit, you know, like now,
Too much.
see
Like an
Formula.
opening ceremony at one event.
Now, look, Australians aren't Europeans, granted, and neither are Americans. But Formula One it's a European sport. Let's be honest here. It's a European thing. I know they go to fucking Japan and Asia and the Middle East these days, but it's it's European in its fucking spirit. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so, you know, that European nature it's a very understated nature. Now, they call Formula One like the big show and the circus and stuff because in Europe they have like more cameras and, you know, more girls on the grid and, you know, Kimi Räikkönen drinking champagne in his boat with bikini models and stuff. But that when you take something that's already got like a European reputation of being like the big show and take it to America and try and make it bigger, it doesn't work. It's too big now. Okay. You've got Keith Urban, you've got fucking Jared Leto with 30 Seconds to Mars, you've got fucking Kylie Minogue, you've got manhole covers coming sucked up out of the ground. It's too much. Okay. Just tone it back. Just let's not go over the top here with the fucking opening ceremonies and shit. Okay.
But, and the global, whatever it is.
Oh, mate.
They're reflecting shit on. It's all.
Will there be a race?
Well, they're back out there.
There has to be. There has to be.
There has to be, yeah. Look, unless the manhole covers come off again during this particular session, I can't imagine there not being a race. So it looks like they fixed it. We'll see.
Sinister Charlie in the chat says, I know more about NASCAR than I know about F1, and I don't even like NASCAR.
Nice, Gary!
Flick on the Vegas Grand Prix. You'll see some chaos. It'll be good.
It's a good thing.
Let's do a bit of court dates talk, Damo, because we had this come through today. One of our very lovely listeners, Mofo Storm Fan, put this out in front of us that they have some litigation in the future. And I'm like, what's going on here? He's like, well, he was listening to a rival podcast, which, you know, in that instance,
Hamish and Andy, they've got a big future ahead of them.
They've got a future. We'll see what the kids have got. Yeah. But apparently they're doing. So remember how I was talking about how the Bear is ripping off our shtick, always talking about ratings?
Yes.
Fans love their Thursday night footy. Well, now Hamish and Andy are stealing our shtick, and it's not even our good segments.
No.
So they're stealing the shtick of Dog or Bad Roommate. So they had a segment in their latest podcast where they were literally having conversations about how the dog's behaviour. We need to act as if it's a roommate.
No.
They did 5 minutes on it.
No.
I feel like we've got to get the lawyers involved. We're going to start copywriting this stuff.
No. So that's 3 now, because I had Dan Bongino rip me off once, Greeno, when I was doing a whole shtick about that'll never happen here. And did a podcast, you know, showed it. Like, I genuinely don't believe that he ripped me off, but that's what I want to believe, that he didn't rip me off. But, you know, that's basically like my whole routine this guy is doing, you know, like, hey, that'll never happen here. We got a constitution. That'll never happen here. And I'm like, wow, that's like the exact words coming out of my mouth. I don't think he ripped me off, but just so happen that maybe in the universe, I think it's possible that two people come up with the same idea. I mean, there are 6 billion of us, but we're not going to take that route with Hamish and Andy.
No.
Fuck them. We're going to say that they have ripped us off because of the 15 listeners that we have, I'm sure that one of their producers is one of them. I'm sure.
And they're like, look, we've gone through all their segments. The guarding segment's a dud. The Unity Day thing has got no legs. But they got this dog or bad roommate thing that seems to be fucking kicking on all cylinders. Maybe we should put that in the show.
Dog or bad.
No, that's Penny. But that's not the only lawsuit that we saw this week. You came across this one.
Which one? Oh, yes, this is a good one. I was talking about our American friends earlier. You guys are going to fucking love this. So our version of Burger King is called Hungry Jack's here. It's the same stuff. Like it's the same symbol and everything.
It's just as bad as any other BK burger.
I think originally, if I'm not mistaken, Greeno, you can correct me if I'm wrong, we had both Hungry Jacks and Burger Kings here.
No, it was originally Burger King.
But some guy owned like the first franchise and he renamed it. It's like a McDowell's situation or something.
Yeah, but then they bought a franchise version and then changed the name to Hungry Jack's, and then Burger King wanted to withdraw their name from that, so they had to rename Australian version Hungry Jack's, something similar.
So now it's all Hungry Jack's. So
yeah, where we used to live was a Burger King.
That's
right. We used to go in as like high school students and steal the thousands of crowns they had.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, but now they're all Hungry Jacks. So this is like an alternate universe where McDowell's from Coming to America actually beats McDonald's, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like where McDowell's wins the court case against McDonald's and then forces all McDonald's to be called McDowell's instead. This is what happened with Hungry Jacks in Australia. God, I love this fucking country sometimes.
Nice, Gary.
One guy buys a Hungry Jacks and has to force all the Burger Kings to rename themselves Hungry Jacks instead. And he's probably getting credit for it every time, you know. Every Whopper that gets sent through the till, Greeno, he probably gets a cut, you know, this fella.
Gets a couple of cents.
Yeah, so what happened here, I don't know if you guys have this in America, but what happened here in Australia was Hungry Jacks / Burger King came out with a burger. Oh, no, I've had this burger, and it's fucking sensational. It's called the Big Jack, Greeno.
They still sell the Big Jack? Do they have to...
Do they still sell the Big Jack? I don't know. I've had it a few times, but it's not what my go-to is the Bacon Deluxe. That's my Burger King burger of choice, Greeno. So I'm sure they still have it though. Like it was on the menu and stuff for ages. So like I haven't really checked. I don't really get fast food anymore either. So I haven't been. Next time I roll through Burger King / Hungry Jack's, I'll have a look, see if they've still got the Big Jack. But I remember calling my wife up, going, "You've got to see this thing. It looks the exact same as a Big Mac,
and it tastes the exact same.
It tastes the exact same as a Big Mac. It looks and tastes the exact same as a Big Mac. They call it a Big Jack, and they say that it's 25% bigger than a Big Mac. Okay,
yeah.
Now, because that's a complaint too. Like all of the McDonald's burgers have been getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So the Big Jack is more like your quarter pounder size, but with a Big Mac build, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So McDonald's did what they do and they took them to court, because that's what McDonald's does. They take everyone to court. And after a 3-year trademark fight with bitter rival Hungry Jack's, Greeno, bitter rival, McDonald's has lost the battle.
Nice, Gary.
The popular fast food chain sued Hungry Jack's AU after they released an item strikingly similar to the famous Big Mac and called it Big Jack, with McDonald's claiming it infringed on their Big Mac trademark. Greeno, can you trademark a burger?
Well, I guess so. Like, I'm actually surprised. Like, I was actually thinking when that burger came out, I'm like, can they do this? Like,
I actually said the same thing. Can they get away with this? How can they get away with this?
Like, it's literally a Big Mac, and they're calling it a Big Jack. Like, you're just flat out taking the piss. It's hysterical. I would have bought one too, just on principle. Because I'm like, fuck Maccas. I got to give us a Big Jack. But I guess you can't trademark a particular burger, like unless they called it a big. You can only trademark names, I guess, and intellectual property. So
yeah,
is
it close enough to a Big Jack? I don't Big Mac. Hang on, let's have a look. Let's have a look at the Big Jack here. I found a little. Let's have a quick look at a little video, Greeno. Here's a big now. What does that
if
look
you
like?
put that up there, if you put that up there and like blocked out the thing that said Big Jack and Hungry Jacks, what burger do you think that is?
That it looks like a Big Mac.
It looks like, hear me out, it looks like 2 all beef patties.
Special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickled onions on a sesame seed bun.
Oh no, there's an onion over there on a sesame seed bun.
No, there's pickles there too. Look here on the.
Yeah, no, I couldn't see the onion, but then I just saw the onion up top right.
Yeah,
so I'm like,
okay,
hey,
so
there's the onion.
let's see the ad for the Big Jack, Greeno.
Someone's suing Hungry Jack's. They reckon Aussies are confusing the Big Jack with some American burger, but the Big Jack's clearly bigger with 25% more Aussie beef.
The ad is taking the piss.
Nice,
Yes.
Gary.
I love this. I reckon this is because I put this to Greeno as like a hero or douchebag story. I reckon Hungry Jacks are fucking heroes.
That's
Go
a
out
double down
tomorrow.
hero.
Go out
I'll go with
tomorrow. Get yourself a fucking Big Jack. Okay.
I got a haul ass up early to go to like a doctor's appointment in the morning. On the way back, I'm grabbing myself a Big Jack for
Get a
brekkie.
Big Jack and just fucking just when the 15-year-old kid hands it to you out the window, pick up the Big Jack and point it towards them and go, "This is for you."
It's for Australia.
This is for Australia.
Someone's suing Hungry Jack's. They reckon Aussies are confusing the Big Jack with some American burger, but the Big Jack's clearly bigger with 25% more Aussie beef, flame grilled with a barbecue taste. And you can only get the Big Jack at Hungry Jack's. The burgers are better.
Well done. Nice, Gary.
Nice,
Here's a little bit of history for you, Damo. We were talking about why Hungry Jack's is called Hungry Jack's, not Burger King. Yeah. So what ended up happening is there was a Burger King that was already in Australia when Burger King tried to bring over their franchises.
Right.
So, and that was trademarked. So there was a place called Burger King already, an Australian Burger King, but it wasn't actually Burger King.
So this was like in the founder. This was like the McDonald's, the original McDonald's brothers were already there.
Yeah,
the Burger Kings were already doing their thing. Yeah.
So when Burger King said, "Oh, we'll come to Australia," they had to open up their restaurants or their fast food restaurants.
They called theirs
as
Hungry
Jacks.
Jacks.
But then in what's it called? What year was it? It was in the mid-90s. That trademark of the original Burger King expired. So then Burger King said, "Oh, we'll start now bringing in Burger King franchises."
That's why we started seeing Burger Kings popping up.
So so in some places in Australia you'd have Hungry Jacks because they were the ones that were made before the 90s and the trademark was there. Yeah. And then you had Burger King. But then you had the two exact same franchises, like consider themselves rivals because people were like, "I like Burger King better than Hungry Jacks." So it was impacting business. So then Hungry Jack sued Burger King, even though it's all the same.
Okay. But it's the same. So the company sued itself?
Sort of. So Burger King's international head office opened up a bunch of franchises. And then the original
This could only happen in Australia, I think.
Yeah. Then Burger King tried to terminate its deal with Hungry Jack's to stop Hungry Jack's from existing. And then they went to court and Hungry Jack's won. So then all the Burger Kings had to fuck off. Hungry Jacks. There you go.
Nice, Gary.
Nice, Gary.
So there you go. One more time. Let's look. That's even more reason to love Hungry Jacks, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because Hungry Jacks has not only defeated Burger King, it also defeated McDonald's.
Yeah.
Hungry Jacks is an unstoppable fucking force in fast food.
So good.
Someone's suing Hungry Jack's. They reckon Aussies are confusing the Big Jack with some American burger, but
some American burger.
What we're talking... Oh, sorry.
Really bigger with 25% more Aussie beef, flame grilled with a barbecue taste. And you can only get the Big Jack at Hungry Jack's.
You can only get a Big Jack at Hungry Jack's.
Nice, Gary.
I want a job with Hungry Jack's after watching that.
On principle.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I'm on the team, man. Fucking
I'll tell you,
sign
you
me
don't
up.
want to get a job with at the moment, though, Damo.
Who?
You don't want to get a job with Asahi. Because they've had a bit of a rough week.
What's Asahi doing?
The beer distribution company.
Okay, a beer distribution company or a beer? Don't they make beer?
Yeah, they do, but they also distribute.
By the way, Greeno, Sinister Charlie in the chat, who's a proud American veteran, by the way, too. Served in the American Armed Forces, Greeno. You know how they love their veterans in the United States. He said, "Some American burger?" ? I'm offended.
Nice, Gary.
Nice, Gary. Good. That's what we. You need to go out tomorrow and pay some love to Burger King, man. Go into your local Burger King and say, "Do you serve a Big Jack here?" I want a Big Jack. They have them in Australia. Why don't you have it here? The
Why don't
land
you
of
have
the
'em?
free.
Ship on over.
Home of
We'll
the
send you
fucking
one.
brave. Yeah.
Send us an envelope, self-addressed envelope.
Yep.
With how much is a Big Jack?
We
Cost
will,
$8.
we will send you a Big Jack in the
With
mail.
$8 Australian inside the
Express.
envelope.
Yeah. It'll get there in 2 days. It'll be fine.
Yep. It'll be fine, but you get to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Don't
They do International Week at the fast food chain, so maybe in Burger
There's a
King
Big
in the
Jack.
United States could do the Australian burger will be the Big Jack, Greeno.
We'll see. We'll see.
That would be fucking good.
Oh
God, I love it.
So this is a bit of cancel everything.
All right,
Damo.
so Asahi's a nice little beer that you would. Asahi is the kind of beer, in my experience, that you're really. And look, I'm a kind of a nerd. I like sci-fi and history and stuff. I don't look like a nerd. People think that I'm not. People think like I'm a fucking big tough guy, but I'm not really. I'm like
Big old nerd.
I am big, but I'm like a nerdy kind of big guy, if that makes sense. So people think like I'm a big tough guy and I care about like motorbikes and tits, but I really don't care about motorbikes or tits, honestly, to be fair with you. I'd rather talk about Marvel movies and Star Wars and shit, you know? So Asahi, though, is the kind of beer that people nerdier than me would bring to a barbecue. Like, because they're
Also-
trying to be different or something.
Also, the beer that when you go and buy around at a pub in the city, the Asahi for some reason costs $2 more for no obvious reason.
And people buy it because there's like a Chinese looking label on it or something. And they're
It
like,
gets served in a
I'm
leaky
being
glass.
exotic.
Yeah.
I'm being cultured by buying this fucking shit. Yeah. But it probably
so-
comes out of the same piss pot that the rest of the Australian stuff
It's that
comes
with
out
all
of.
the other beer, it's just a different label. When he may bring back around and it's like he had an Asahi and then we got whatever cheap shit we were drinking. And then we went to buy the round and I'm like, mate, your beer costs twice as much as ours. So you've just signed yourself up for like 2-to-1 rounds moving forward. I hope you enjoy your Asahi because it's just cost you an extra 4 beers.
Oh, look, if I'm doing a round, I'm going to default to Tui's New or VB unless you say otherwise. And if you say otherwise, I'm going to match whatever you want when you ask me. It's like
You double down.
Wait,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
asked for a Squire's fucking pale ale? Well, that's what I'll have. You know, you're getting it. I'm getting it back.
You're getting the
Fuck
same, yeah, like for like. But anyway, they released a drink recently that I wasn't aware of because I don't really check out the fruity drink aisle very often.
Right.
Called Hard Solo, which is like an alcoholic, like lemon.
I can't believe you brought this up. Didn't we talk about this not long ago where I was going to buy the Hard Solo, but I ended up buying like some other random kind of lemon squash, alcoholic lemon squash? Remember I told you about this? And I'm like, you got to try it. It's so fucking good.
Think it must be a different person.
No.
Or I wasn't paying attention. Either way.
You probably weren't paying attention.
Yeah.
I don't blame you, honestly. Because they had Hard Solo on sale and there was like a big stack of them.
I
for
would have
like
remembered that.
$50.
I thought I would have remembered that if you told me.
But instead, I got some other random one instead. You don't
Nah,
remember?
you-
I'm
I
sure
remember
it was
that
on the show. I'm sure it was on the show.
Anyway, there's Hard Solo.
And there
Not
is
anymore, though.
alcoholic. What?
Not anymore, because apparently
I
there was
didn't even
10
get to try it. Oh man!
It was 10 complaints because apparently here's one of the complaints. Hard Solo looks like a drink. Solo, well, that's the point.
Yeah.
That is consumed by minors. It's hard to think why they think this would be okay in 2023. It also sounds a bit like Han Solo, which is a Star Wars
Now
character.
see, that's a shit post.
Nice, Gary.
That is somebody's shit post. Now that is one of 10 complaints ABAC received. Look, I've been saying, Greeno, you know this personally. I've been saying this for 20 years that a show can, like, when you hear about things getting canceled, like now, cancel culture is a thing now, but back, you have to understand when I was talking about this shit at barbecues and stuff, cancel culture didn't exist like as we know it today, but it was happening. And I would say, no, what happens is, you know, like say Christmas decorations, right? I would say it's not the Muslims complaining about Christmas decorations. It's one fucking atheist boomer white do-gooder who's complaining on behalf of the Muslim friends that they don't have, that don't exist, and saying we shouldn't be doing this because it's offensive to other cultures. And it only takes that one person to make the intern university graduate who doesn't want to lose their job at the local shopping center, who's responsible for making sure that the posters go up outside correctly or some shit like that. It only takes that one complaint to make that person shit themselves and think, well, I don't want to get in trouble with my supervisor by leaving this go unattended. And so they make changes, and they enforce policy. Well, we better not do that then because we got a complaint. That's no good. So many of these things come from so few people. It's fucking insane. Like, the way it's reported, you would think that there's a groundswell. Like, take the whole Coon cheese. Remember Coon cheese?
Yeah.
There was no groundswell of fucking support to change the name from Coon cheese. There was 3 washed up actors and about 50 people who had 3 Twitter accounts to each of them to make up 150 Twitter accounts. And that was enough to make the company go, oh, well, we don't want to upset all of these people. And then they changed their whole fucking brand because of it, Greeno.
Yeah.
There's no groundswell for anything. People don't care, honestly.
No, not at all. Also, you have to show ID to buy any kind of alcoholic drink anyway, so you can target it to kids. But at the same time, alcohol is targeted to kids in general. Like,
well, remember,
why do you think they came up with those fruity drinks?
Well, do you remember? Remember when we were like 19, right? And I used to bore everybody to death talking about the Alco-Pop tax.
Yeah.
Now there was a government in charge of, I can't remember which government it was, but the argument that they put forward was, Alco-Pop. So we're talking about like UDL drinks, which is like a vodka drink. That was the one that they focused in on the hardest. And it's in like a colorful can. It's vodka mixed with like passion fruit drink or fucking mango drink or lemonade or whatever the fuck it's in it, I never drank the shit even, honestly. I was like a Guinness guy when I was a kid, right? So I didn't drink UDLs or anything like that. But that was the argument. It's like, this is too appealing to children, therefore we need to put a tax on it to prevent children from drinking it. And it's like, and just watching all of the parents go, that's a great idea.
You dick.
Do you not understand that they're just putting a tax on something? Like, don't you see that they're just making it cost more for the people who are legitimately fucking buying it? It's just a money grabbing exercise by this thieving, ghoulish fucking government entity. This fucking that they produce nothing. They provide no fucking value to the product, yet they are just it's a mafia operation at this point. They see someone I'm being serious. They see someone selling a product that's selling its tits off because people are like, you know what? I want to drink mango and fucking vodka. That sounds like a great fucking day. I'll get a 6-pack of mango and vodka. This product was selling its fucking tits off, and the government said, "We're gonna have me some of that." And
let me wet my beak.
So they created this whole false fucking dialectic that, you're convincing children to drink vodka. And it's like, what the fuck? And it's like, yeah, your cans are too colorful. Your drink tastes too much like soda pop. Therefore, we're going to make it cost 30% more. And all of that 30% is going to go directly to us.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. They came in and they said, okay, we're going to put a tax on Alco-Pop. And they sold it like, we're protecting the children, which is always the fucking argument that you get. We're protecting the fucking children from drinking these. You're not protecting anybody. You're actually ensuring that the children will steal from their parents' wallets in order to buy the fucking shit in the first place, whereas before they could have done it with their fucking newspaper route job. That's all you're doing. You're actually promoting fucking criminality by putting this 30% tax on, because before you could have got it for $10 and now it's going to cost you 13. That's not fair. That's not fucking fair. So it was actually far more than 30%. I think wasn't like an 80% tax or some ridiculous.
I don't give a shit, so I didn't care.
They put such a hike on it, and all of it went straight to the government for protecting, quote unquote, protecting the fucking children, Greeno.
Children, but the good thing is they didn't have to change their name, UDLs, whereas Hard Solo is now called Hard Rated.
Hard rated because it's too much like Solo. Fuck this country sometimes.
It's the exact same drink.
Yeah.
The drink remains the exact same. It's still solo with alcohol in it. It's now just called hard rated.
See, this is ridiculous. This is
Yeah,
fucking like we're now getting to a point where we need to, you can't take the problem is everybody looks.
Will course correct eventually.
I wanted to believe that for the longest time.
I think we're getting to tipping point now where like people are, hey, this is. I think we talked about it last week. This is getting so ridiculous that it's gone too far now. We got to stop.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's hard solo. It's fine because isn't there a thing like it's like seltzer and hard seltzer, right? Ginger beer, hard ginger beer. Like we all know these things, yeah.
It just means it's alcohol.
Yeah, exactly. Cider, hard cider. Hard
cider. Yeah.
This exists. This is not like oh my god. But the fact that it was taken from a shit post, like this is
100% the shit post. It also sounds like Han Solo,
a Star Wars character. This is a person who is taking the piss out of you.
That's a 13-year-old having a laugh.
But they think it's a legitimate complaint.
Yeah. No, we got to look into each
now. See,
complaint.
this is where the Australian online culture of shit posting and being so sarcastic that you can't figure it out if it's real or not. This is where it comes back to bite you. This is a snake eating its own tail situation here.
Very much so.
This person went on there and said, "Yeah, I'm going to contribute to this outrage," which we all do. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I've been there myself, man. I know how you feel. I've gone on to various newspaper websites and I've thrown a comment in and like, no, absolutely. I think there's so much bigotry in this world that all female athletes should be replaced by trans athletes because otherwise, how else are we going to cleanse the world of this narcissism, and I'll get likes for it, because people are idiots, So I'm just contributing to that snowball effect. Yeah, but on this occasion, it's come back to bite us, Greeno, unfortunately.
I'm not going to buy it either way, but it's called hard solo or hard rated, so who gives a
fuck? Your mic just changed. You're very quiet all of a sudden.
There you go.
Yeah. I don't know. Can you get closer to the mic? Or
yeah. Oh, I'm still in the exact same spot I have been.
Can you unplug it and plug it back in again, maybe? Or hang on. All right.
There you go. How are we sounding now?
No, still very quiet. Can you just give it a tap or something, or like a bang, bang, bang on the mic?
There you go. Better?
No?
No. I don't know what's going on.
I'm going to pump you right up then. Okay.
Pump me up.
Okay.
Sounding better?
Yeah, I've pumped you up. I'm pumped you right up. Good. So you're good.
Let's talk something positive, Damo, because you sent this from the Internet Hall of Fame, and I was like, this is the most accurate comment I've seen on the internet in the history of interneting, if you will.
Okay.
And this is from Gavin at Distractad. Who said, "Whoever is making cheese commercials can save their money. We're buying cheese, and we're never going to stop buying cheese. Save your money."
Nice,
that's facts right there. That is 100% facts.
That's truth. That's fire.
I don't think I've ever actually seen a cheese ad in my life.
I've definitely seen a cheese ad. I've seen coon cheese ads, Greeno.
I don't watch TV, so...
Oh, no. Now, so you keep talking, and I'm going to show you some of the classic coon ads from back in the day.
I remember the old ads. I remember what we're talking about. What I'm saying is, in current day...
Still going to play them, Greeno. I'm sorry.
I don't go out there to buy cheese, because I've seen it on the interwebs. Like, there's no space in between all the sports bet ads. I can't squeeze it in. But I'm buying copious amounts of cheese, regardless of the advertising. This man's hit this nail on the head. Don't need to advertise it. Cheese is cheese. People are going to continue to buy cheese. We're going to love the cheese. We're going to enjoy the cheese. We're going to purchase the cheese. Save your advertising money. Put it into the cheese budget.
So you reckon spend more money on milk instead, Greeno?
Whatever. I don't care what they spend it on. Don't need to spend it on advertising.
G'day. Come and I'll show you some of my favourite spots around Australia. Coonamble, Coonalpin, Coonua Bridge, Stop the Fridge, Coonawara, Coongoomerang, Coonabarabran, loves that coon taste, man.
Now let's talk to some real cheese experts.
You mean coon cheese experts, Peter?
See what I
Been
mean?
eating coon cheese for 60 years or more.
Me too.
60 years? Come.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Nice, Gary.
There's one that I need to really show. The pub with no beer. The pub with no beer cover that there's nothing so lonesome but the house with no coon.
I remember that one. I remember that one you just showed me there though. 94.
Here it is, Greeno. I'm quick on the draw.
This story is sad, for no one was.
Oh God. Here we go. This is one of my all-time favorites, Greeno. I can't imagine why they banned it. Put it that way.
This story is sad, for no one was pleased when young Kenny Malone, she
bought the wrong cheese.
Cause it always goes down like a lead balloon when the family comes home to a house with no coon. That's
the cheese, Damo.
Nice, Gary.
Look at that happy white family enjoying their coon, Greeno. The white families have always loved coons.
This story is sad, for no one was pleased when young Kenny Malone,
she bought the wrong cheese.
Cause it always goes down like a lead balloon when the family comes home to a house with no coon.
That's right, folks. You can always rely on coon cheese because coon cheese is made the way good cheese should be made.
So don't let your home be a house with no coon.
So don't let your home be a house with no coon, Greeno.
Nice, Gary.
Fixing the civil rights movement right there.
Love it.
Let's go from that to
Shall we?
Yeah, a bit of Benjamin Button hot toss, Damo.
Oh yeah, where's this one?
So this is some.
Not that one. Where's the Benjamin Button one?
I'll skip that one.
No. Let me find it. There was I do remember seeing the Benjamin Button story. Isn't it some like fucking writer or something who believes he is actually Benjamin Button?
No, it's a guy he's a biohacker who believes he's reversed aged his penis by 15 years.
Oh no, we definitely need to review this. Yeah. This has definitely got to be on the show. All right, I'm checking.
He's reversed aged his penis by 15 years. Now.
Oh, here it is. I found it.
Got it?
I've got him. Yep. All right, here he is. Let's
He's
just go to
mate.
the story, shall we?
I don't like clicking these things because I feel like it encourages it.
Oh no, you got to click. You got to give the clicks. Definitely go because we got to pay. Yeah, no, I want to give. If someone's going to write an article with a headline that says millionaire biohacker Brian Johnson, 46, claims he has reversed aged his penis by 15 years by using shock therapy on his genitals, revealing he is aiming to have the erections of an 18-year-old. Whoever wrote that, I want to give them my 5 cents.
It's a long headline, by the way.
Yep, you deserve it.
I feel there's too many words. Too many words in the headline to begin with.
Well, that's the Daily Mail's MO. They want to pack as much into their headlines as possible for their online versions.
I guess the headline's longer than paragraph one.
Yeah, it is. It actually is.
Yeah.
Controversial de-aging methods. Can I tell a quick little story?
I like stories about
controversial de-aging method?
Yes, de-aging methods. One of the best books I ever read, and I haven't read many books that I've really, 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 really enjoyed, and I couldn't wait to keep reading it. Like I could count them on one hand kind of thing. One of the best books I've ever read, and you could probably get it out there like free on the internet if you wanted to read it. It was by a guy named Brock someone, and it was about a real person named Dr. John Brinkley. Mm-hmm. And he existed in the 19th century, like in the 1800s in the United States. And this guy got rich by selling the idea that if he removed your testicles and implanted goat testicles instead, that he would make you more virile and stuff. He was like a snake oil salesman, basically. Yeah. H.L. Mencken was like a celebrity, like a political satirist. He was one of his clients. Like so many people went to him and had their testicles removed and had goat testicles put in instead.
Put in?
Yeah.
Your goat implants.
Yeah. And so basically this story, the book is called Charlatan. It's actually, I just remembered it's by Pope Brock is the guy who wrote the book, Pope Brock.
Okay.
The book's called Charlatan, and it's about basically the FBI agent who spent like 30 years of his life trying to prove that this guy was a hoaxer, like a charlatan, like a snake oil salesman. But you have to imagine in the 1900s it was incredibly difficult because we didn't have the scientific methods that we do now. So you couldn't just come out and say, oh, he's selling lies. You You actually had to prove it, and they didn't have the means to prove it. So this guy, in order to evade, investigation by the authorities, he ran for president. He moved to Mexico and made the world's largest radio tower because he had so much money at this point because he'd been putting so many goat testicles in people. I swear to God, it's a true story. He moved to Mexico and he created the world's largest radio tower, which was called the Border Buster. And you can Google this, the Border Buster radio tower. And he sent a radio show into the southern states of the United States where he would have like something called like the medical question box. And people it was probably all fake questions. It'd be like, how can I get my virility back? And it's like, well, of course, you need to take goat testicles,
Goat testicles. Do I have a deal for you?
Yeah. So he became like a celebrity. He invented this guy, this Dr. John Brinkley, and people don't know this until you know it. If you know it, you know it, and if you don't, you don't. He invented modern American political campaigning because what he would do is when he was running for president, he would always show up like an hour late, and the hour that he spent not being there, he would have his assistants hand out little American flags.
Yeah.
So everybody got a little American. Nobody did this before this guy did it. And he would show up in his own private plane that he was flying. So he would do political shows like at fucking runways and stuff in the middle of nowhere. And when he arrived, he would invite all the media, and the media would take pictures of all the crowd waving these little American flags because they'd been standing there for an hour in the heat. They couldn't wait to fucking get out of there by this point. Yeah. So they're waving their little American flags, and he'd show up and he'd fly his plane and then jump out of the plane and walk up to the dais and give speeches about how he loves giving goat testicles to people. It's fucking. It's an immensely enthralling read about this guy's life, and so
also turned into a documentary film in 2016 that won at Sundance.
Did it really? Oh, I didn't even know that. I now have to see it. What's it called?
It's called Nuts.
Nuts. There you go.
Nuts!
Nuts with an exclamation. So it's about Dr. John Brinkley.
Yeah, that's one.
Wow.
Yeah, it's all linked to the book.
So but if you get a chance, do read that book called Charlatan by Pope Rock. It is
it sounds like a crazy story.
Fascinating story, but it's all true. Right. That's the other thing. And it's fantastic. So whenever I see things like this, millionaire biohacker Brian Johnson, 46, claims he has reverse aged his penis by 15 years using shock therapy on his genitals, revealing he's aiming to have the erections of an 18. When I see things like this, it just makes me smile. Greeno. I'm like, because I remember that book. Yeah, that's right. I think you should be allowed to sell whatever the fucking cure you want, because if you're dumb enough to believe it,
go nuts. Yeah, like if someone's willing to, like, he's obviously trying to flog these small devices, whatever he's putting in the shock therapy to stimulate arousal there and reverse engineer the penis.
Yeah. Look, if you put 5,000 volts through my cock, it'd probably stand on you could probably crack coconuts on it, Greeno.
Yeah, exactly. And how do you disprove that? Like, how do you disprove you're like, hey, I'm way more virile? Like, what do you mean? Like, I got the same erections as an 18-year-old. Well, maybe you didn't have a lot of erections as an 18-year-old. Who knows?
I don't have the same erections as an 18-year-old. 18-year-olds give me erections. Hey.
How about this next one? How about this next podcast story?
What do we got next?
We got the next one, journalism. We always like finding journalistic stories that pop up where, look, it's not quite Daily Mail quality, but this one.
Speaking of erections, Greeno.
Yeah. Nation's most sexually active woman storms Flemington.
Now, how do we know she's the most sexually active woman?
Well, this is self-proclaimed. So she claims that obviously she's getting some free advertising for OnlyFans here. She said an ex-Melbourne private schoolgirl now on OnlyFans and who wears the crown of Australia's most promiscuous woman with 300 intimate partners a year has spiced up the Cup Carnival.
So, am I the only one who just thinks ew?
Yeah, that's some tainted goods right there.
Like, okay, she's kind of cute, I guess.
She's not bad looking. I can see how she could attract 300 partners in space.
But she's my type, and I don't even think she's that good looking. She's like, whatevs. Oh, look, it's paywalled. Oh, fuck you, Harold.
Let's see if you're going to paywall that story.
Well, I'll just get her OnlyFans. Why would I pay for a $10 fucking newspaper account when I could just see her putting Coke bottles up her snatch, Greeno, instead for $10? You all right? They're
This is
idiots.
the- this
See,
is
Harold
the-
Sun should have put this one out for free.
free, and then we could have linked on over. She could have taken a cut. She could have went her beak. They could have went their beak.
She's actually
on her
play. But Harold Sun thinks they're playing her for clicks. She's actually playing them.
Yeah, she's getting all these free advertising over there on Harold Sun.
Why would you subscribe to fucking Harold Sun? What are you going to read? Andrew Bolt? You know,
We can read about the private school girl who has 300 interpartners
can
partners a year.
see her sticking a fire hose up her ass for the same money that you're asking for. What am I going to read about the economy? Fuck you.
How did she find the time? I'm guessing she's unemployed. Would be my guess.
No, she's employed. She's an adult creator, Greeno.
Adult creator. Okay, so that's where she finds the time for the 300 interpartners because part of the workplace.
She gets paid for it.
Now, hear me out. So she's got the crown of most promiscuous woman. Surely, like hookers, would be banging way more than 300 a year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
They'd be pumped through 4 or 5 a day, wouldn't they?
4 or 5 a day. So so 365 days. Are they working on Christmas, Greeno, the hookers?
No, but then a couple of days off. What I'm saying is they'd be in like closer to 500-600, I think.
Yearly, yeah. Annual
basis.
turnover. Yeah.
Annual turnover, no pun intended. Compared to this lady,
yeah.
I feel this is a falsely earned crown. This crown has the same legitimacy as the ones I used to steal from Burger King back in high school, sir.
Nice, Gary.
Do you get a free Coke after you're done, though? It's a free refill.
Now we're talking. We need to.
Is 300 intimate partners more? Is that a different category to a hooker though? Because are they intimate hookers? They don't kiss, I guess. So what makes it intimate as opposed to just sex?
Well, I just think they can't go. She's been dicked down by 300 people.
Dicked down by 300.
I had to use the phrase "intimate part" as meaning dick down.
I remember one of the first experiences I ever had with Jerry Springer was in 1999, and so I'm revealing my age a little here. So I was still in high school. I think I was like 17 at the time. It must have been 99. We were about 16, 17, something like that.
Yeah, around that. Yep.
Yeah. And I remember, like, I'd never seen Jerry Springer before, but I just so happened to be home and I was flicking around the channel on cable and I was like, came across this show. And there was a woman. I think this was like the first Jerry Springer episode I ever watched. And there was a woman who brought her husband on to tell him that her lifelong dream had been to be a porn star, and she was going to star in this porn film called Gangbang 2000, Greeno, to bring in the year 2000, and she was going to fuck 2,000 guys in one day.
One day, that's right.
Yeah. And she wanted her husband to be number 2000.
2000. Yeah, I remember that episode.
And he's distraught. He's in tears. You know, he's like, "How could you do this? I don't know why you doing this. Why are we here? Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't get it." And then next thing you know, they bring out Ron Jeremy, Greeno.
Yeah,
because he's the producer for this Gangbang 2000.
Yeah,
and then he's trying to talk to the guy, saying, "You don't understand. This is going to make history. You know, like, don't you want to be a part of history?" And he's looking at Ron Jeremy, going, "You're a filth purveyor. I can't believe you're doing this. How the hell did you talk my wife into this?" And Ron Jeremy jumps up and grabs his dick and he says, "If you don't want to be 2000, I'll fucking be 2000. God. And then people turn around and say, "How have we become the society that we are right now?"
Well, because Jerry Springer led us in this direction.
Yeah. Imagine if America had voted Jerry Springer in. Remember, he ran for president at one point.
That's right. Yeah, well, he was a senator, governor, or something like that.
Was he a senator or something?
Yeah, I think so.
I know he ran for president. I didn't know if he ever got elected for anything.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure someone elected him after his show.
Okay, maybe local.
Former mayor of Cincinnati.
Yeah. But I'm sorry, love. If you put yourself out there as, 300 partners a year, it's just ew. It's just ew.
Yeah.
That's too much of a body count.
Too much, yeah.
20 years from now, she'll regret this. And look, to be fair, we all regret things from 20 years ago. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
We've all got regrets in our past, but not all regrets are created equal, are they? Some regrets are worse than others. Like, my biggest regrets, maybe 3 or 4 people know about, Everyone knows about yours.
Everyone knows about this now.
Because you fucked half of them too. So
I wonder if 300 know about the other ones. Like if it's like initial like early date talk, like chit chat. Oh yeah, what are you up to? Well,
yeah, like that's a good point. If you were number 236 on the 300 list, and you would know who she is, you'd be like, "Are we really going to fuck around, wasting time having a coffee, or are we just going to get to it, or what?" You know.
Or are they not aware and are just finding out on the Herald Sun?
Yeah, and now they're looking for her. Yeah.
I really shouldn't have raw dogged that. Like, it just
imagine if you got rejected by the girl who has 300 sex partners a year.
Yes, yeah. Old mate who was trying to hit on her at the races and got knocked back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, does she? I can't imagine if you have 300 sexual partners in a year that you could have two, possibly a higher standard, because I don't think you're meeting 300 fuckable people in a year.
Yeah.
Like, because you got to think, like, you pretty much have to fuck one every 1.2 days to make that number, right?
Yeah.
So in order to fuck one every 28 hours or whatever it is, you know, to make up the 300, you can't be too picky. You're like, there's no time for chit chat, right?
Also, a lot of strangers you're meeting.
It'd have to be.
Like,
it'd have to be a lot of
300
sex
people.
in public toilets or whatever the fuck you're doing out there, you know?
Reckon she hangs out at truck stops?
Well, I mean, she can't always be at clubs every night. Like, the clubs aren't going off on a Wednesday normally. Like, are you meeting someone at Woolies? Like, when you're picking up the milk, you know? All right, you'll do. Look, I've got 4 hours to, you know, before I need to fuck someone again. So, yeah, you're my man. Let's go.
There you go.
So
Well done.
I don't find it actually believable, honestly.
No, I think this is just a way to plug her OnlyFans account, to be fair.
Yeah, she probably actually only fucks one guy, and he probably owns the rights to her OnlyFans account.
Yeah.
You know, in all honesty, he probably made her do this interview. He said, look,
100%.
we need more money coming in. We need more OnlyFans. Otherwise, I'm going to fucking drop you, you know?
How are we going to do it? We'll get national coverage and we'll rock up at Flemington and get a little ad in the paper, pretty much.
Yeah, can you suck the editor's dick at the Herald Sun? Maybe they'll write an article about us or something, you know?
Time's almost up.
Do that, yeah. Fantastic stuff.
Let's get to a little bit more wholesome content, Damo, because
wholesome.
award season the MLB finished up today with our man Shohei Ohtani.
We love Shohei.
Getting his second MVP. Stat man, if we can, because even though he's injured, even though it's the off season, he's still setting records.
It's a sad day when you're a professional whore and your sexual partner average is lower than Shohei Ohtani's batting average, Greeno.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, he batted well over 300 this year. Yeah. So he's the first man ever to win MVP twice, unanimously voted.
Really?
So
another record goes by the wayside.
Yep, he's the first man to own that. So, but then they do like a video hookup, obviously, because it's outside season, so everyone's just in their homes. And normally people have their like partners and their family and their brothers and sisters, all that kind of stuff.
Just before we get to the video, Greeno, can I just say one thing?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even a huge baseball fan, but I feel like, and I might have made this point before, I feel like Shohei Ohtani is the Led Zeppelin of baseball. Because Led Zeppelin was pretty big when they were around, but Led Zeppelin got way more famous like 20 years after they were famous. And I feel like 20 years from now, everyone's going to look back and go, Jesus, that Shohei was fucking good. You know what I mean? Like, they're not appreciated. They really, there are pockets of the baseball community, from what I've observed, that really appreciate what they're witnessing. They're witnessing like the Bradman style. Like, he is the greatest.
Bradman. Yeah.
But then they're not hearing Jimmy, Greeno. They're listening to it, but they're not fucking hearing Jimmy.
Because what happened in this 24-hour news cycle, that people were getting what they refer to as Shohei fatigue, because there's too much news.
Because he breaks too many fucking
records.
records.
Too many records. Everything that's said about Shohei is newsworthy because he keeps on creating history. So people have been overwhelmed by all the Shohei talk and not appreciate as much.
I reckon.
We're not in that group.
I reckon if his name was like fucking Bob Dick or something, and he was a fucking big white guy with a beard, they'd all be sucking his dick constantly. Honestly, I do. I don't think like, you know, baseball fans or Americans are racist necessarily or anything like that. I just feel like because it's Shohei Ohtani, they're like, I'm sick of hearing about this fucking Jap. You know, fucking, you know, like, you know, fair enough, whatever. But you're witnessing the best player who's ever played the fucking game.
Don't take it for granted.
Do not
Gotta
take
enjoy
it for granted.
Every single minute of it. And,
No.
I certainly do. But I came across this because obviously this was on the hookup with the three, because they do like a top three and then they announce who out of the three won the award. And yeah, instead of having like family with him, Shohei had his puppy with him to celebrate winning.
Puppies are the babies.
So he's just been named MVP. Here's how Shohei celebrates.
Didn't even eat it.
He high fives his dog. There we go.
Oh, that's some wholesome fucking shit right there. Can we get a pup date from you, Greeno? Are you high-fiving your doggo these days? Are you a bit more in love with the dog? Have you come to an agreement?
We've come to an agreement.
Okay, nice, Gary. Tell me about it. Story time.
I like stories about pinatas.
We've come to an agreement where the less annoying the dog gets, the more I'm like hating the dog.
Of course.
So, my general principle was like, okay, well, every time you destroy something, I'm going to get angry. She keeps on destroying shit. She's destroying less and less shit.
Because she was a puppy and she's growing up, man. You got to walk them through that stage. It's like a baby,
But then we taught her how to play fetch. So that's all good.
That's cool.
She's also worked out, got an internal clock.
Yep.
So she knows, like, hey, Dad's going to bring her in at 9. So she'll fuck around outside till 9 and then be at the door, like, woo, ready to go.
Yeah. They do.
So she's getting there.
Our biggest girl, Riley, the older one, every night at 10 p.m., we have to leave the back door open at at least until 10. And we used to leave it open all the time until the actual, our kid was born.
Yeah.
And then I said to Lady Boogie, I don't think it's a good idea for us to leave the back door open all night anymore. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, eventually, the baby BoogieBumper baby is going to be walking around. She might just wander out into the fucking backyard at 2 a.m. We can't have that. And she's like, yeah, that's a good point. So I said, we need to actually start training the doggos. Okay, so there is a bedtime now. Because before that, for 3-4 years, they've just had, they can go in and out whenever they please. We trust them, Yeah. So our oldest girl, Riley, she fucking every night at 10 p.m., basically on the dot, she gets up out of bed. She'll go to bed for a couple of hours. She'll get up, she stretches, and she wanders out, casually strolls. Because if you're not, Greeno's familiar with her, she's fucking huge. She is a big, she's 50 kilos, big girl, beautiful, show dog, fucking proud, stoic, strong kind of. And we've got another one that's a retard, in the same breed, so they're a good team. Like a little runty retard. But the older girl, the big one, she just fucking casually, she does everything on her own time, strolls out there, and she eats at 10 o'clock at night. So if you happen to close the door before 10 p.m., she'll just, she'll come into the bedroom, she'll fucking lick you on the face, and you're like, what? And she'll nose you and go, hmm? And then she walks to the back door and starts hitting the back door with a paw, bang, bang, bang. Yeah. It's like, oh, fuck, I didn't let her out there to have her feed. So everything is on a clock for them. They're very, they love discipline, Greeno. They love it.
Yeah, no, well, once we got on a bit of a routine, it's been a lot better. And also because, I'm the cook in the family.
Mm-hmm.
So,
as am I.
Whenever I'm cooking a meal, whenever I cook a meal where I'm like, I can give some of this to the dog, I chuck it in a bowl. Whereas the other days, obviously, it was there's just the standard dog food or whatever it may be. So she's got an appreciation for me because she's like, hey, man, when Dad's cooking pasta, I'm getting some pasta tonight. It's we like that. So she's nice to me in that regard. So we've come to an agreement.
Every time I cook steak or so if you buy steak and it's in that fucking shrink wrapped packet.
Yeah.
And I can try and be quiet about it. So, again, it's the older girl, Riley. The little one just follows whatever Riley does. So she really has no mind of her own. She just does whatever the big one does, So she could be in another room and the TV could be blaring and stuff. And I could quietly cut the packet of meat, with a knife, and then, rip that Glad wrap back. And then within seconds, Riley, she's sitting next to me, sitting there, just looking at me, licking her lips. I'm like, no, not for you. But then she'll sit there and not move a fucking muscle like a soldier, And I'm like, okay, you're being a good girl, So I'll cut off a little bit of fat or something here you go, good on you. You earned it, So she learnt over time. So every time that there's any kind of food situation, she'll just Yeah, just sit there and look good, and just don't force the issue. Because if you force the issue, you're going to get shunned. You're going to be like, no, get out of here, stop being like that.
With as soon as I put anything in the microwave because I do like microwave popcorn.
They hear the microwave.
Beep, hear the microwave. Like popcorn. I'm like, no. And then I realised, because I was just giving her the popcorn out of the microwave packet.
Yeah.
I'm like, I better should look up she can eat this shit.
Yeah.
And then it turns out you're not meant to give the dog fucking popcorn out of the microwave. So I'm like, oh, okay, so that's bad. And then she'd see me smash the popcorn and she'd give me a sad face. So I'm like, that felt fucking bad.
Got to give her something.
So
yeah.
now I got to do fucking 2 packets. So I do the microwave popcorn, and then I've got an air popper. And that's here's a fucking fistful of the one that doesn't have butter and salt all over it.
Oh, Lady Books is going to love this story.
Nice,
I'm going to tell her.
It's bad for the dog, man. The dog's can't eat the fucking the salt and the butter.
Has the puppy graduated to being able to chill on the lounge with you yet, or?
No, it's still Burko inside the house. So we have outside time and we have inside the house, inside the playpen time.
Okay.
Because anytime it's near a pillow, it just destroys it, and we can't have it
you do have to eventually transition because you do want the doggo to be in the house with everyone and be part of the family, and I feel like you do. You want her to lay down next to the kids and let the kids pat her and watch TV together and stuff because that's what she wants. She just wants to be part of the family,
she wants to destroy everything. That's the problem. That's what
they'll do that if you make it special, though. If you make the things that they destroy boring, then they'll stop destroying them. So because right now you're keeping her outside. So when she's inside, she's like, I'm gonna go fucking crazy. But if you
it's half and half. So she's inside a playpen.
Yeah. So when she's out of that pen inside, she's like, I look at this stuff all day and I can't wait to sink my teeth into it. But if you make it boring, like it's just part of everyday life, then eventually, there's a teething period. Don't get me wrong, but eventually they'll be like, what else? I'm bored of the pillows. I'm bored of the lounge. I just want to hang out.
We got the test case. If she can keep a pillow inside her pen or outside and not destroy it, then we can trust her with the inside pillows.
Yeah. Okay. Well, eventually, like dogs chew shit when they're young, especially. So. Yeah, I remember I was walking around and Riley would we called her the land shark, because if you had socks on your feet, she would lunge and fucking rip the socks off your feet while you were walking, Yeah. Now you can just leave your shoes lying around and she's like, yeah, I don't care. She couldn't care less. I just want to go and chill and sit on the lounge and get a pat, So it will happen eventually. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy for you, man. Yeah, puppy steps, baby steps. Pup day. Good pup day. Good story.
I like stories about pinatas.
Fantastic.
Good time to end the show, I think.
Yeah. Let's get the fuck out of here. One more show of Shohei with his doggo. High five. That's a cute little doggo, isn't it? That's a gorgeous little doggo there, Greeno.
Shohei's not going to get no shit, dog.
No.
He can get no run out of the...
All the people clapping freaked him out though, didn't it?
Yeah.
He's like, what are you doing? Oh, it's a gorgeous doggo. Nice, Gary.
I think you like that one because I'm like, I know you're already a Shohei fan. I'm like, Damon's going to like Shohei even more after this one.
Yeah.
So,
quick little story time for you.
I like stories about
just before we go.
pinatas.
So the birthday we went to tonight, so the baby BoogieBumper baby has the 2 ridgebacks to deal with when she's out in the house. So the house that we went to tonight also had 2 dogs, but one of them was a French bulldog. Do you know what a French bulldog looks like, Greeno?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're kind of small compared to a ridgeback. Pretty small. They're more pug size. They're more like Missy size, just a little bit bigger than Missy. And I don't know what the other breed was, but she was a little bit bigger than the French bulldog. So like 2 kind of compared to our dogs, right? 2 pretty small dogs. So I plonked the baby BoogieBumper baby on the ground, and she started wandering around. The 2 dogs started coming up and sniffing her and licking her, and it was fucking nothing to her. Like she just ignored them, And someone said, "Oh, she's pretty good with dogs," and my wife said, "Yeah, because we've got 2 fucking horses at home." Like
these are snack size.
This is nothing. Nothing to her. This is nothing. So yeah, good story.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right. We're back next week. I think we're back next week.
Are we back next week? Nothing on? Are you sure?
We're back next week. Yeah, nothing. I got nothing on the calendar saying we're not here. So
okay, we're gonna have to talk about. Are we going to wrap up for the Christmas season or something, or what are we going to do? Don't know.
We'll see how we go.
We'll just
if there's
play it
something
by
we're
ear.
talking about.
Yep.
We'll do something.
Yep. Still on for Boxing Day, are you? Coming over?
I'll be there.
I'm not going to do Lunch of Legends for Boxing Day.
No. Too many people for Lunch of Legends. It's
Too
Christmas,
many people.
Just after Christmas. Yeah, like it's just.
I'm going to do it.
There.
I'm going to do a really nice so I will spare no expense on the meat on the spit roast. That's what I'm going to dedicate our time and attention to. It's going to be like a nice, really quality spit roasted fucking meat that you'll be provided. No. Just you got to have a good meat if you're spit roasting,
Yeah.
So we'll do that,
like
and then it's going to be like potato bacon salad on the side. But the meat is the fucking centerpiece of the whole experience, So melt in your mouth, shit,
Leftovers from the day before, man, would have been fine.
Yeah, nachos. Yeah.
There we go. A lot of cheese. I'll definitely do it. Yeah, we're already locked in, so that's all good. We've sorted out accommodation and whatnot. So that's all ready.
Accommodation? Where are you staying?
I'm staying with family.
Hotel?
No. As in staying with family, which has worked out which places we're staying at on whatever night.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Because I go, one Christmas Day is at one family and then one family member. But then I'm like, I'm not going to drive back from there to your place. I'll go to another family member that's closer to your place. So
good call.
Making sure we can find places to stay while we're there. So
next year we should sorted. When's the next time you're doing Boxing Day at your house with your because you're on a family rotation, isn't it?
We're on a 3-year family rotation. So I
you
did
it last year. Yeah. Okay.
No, it's 2025.
All right, so I'll do the next couple anyway.
Yeah.
And then 2025 though, I'm calling the show off, and I'm rocking up to Greeno's place for Boxing Day. And
I'll be here.
Yeah, and we'll do the projector in the garage with the sheets and stuff.
Boxing Day, we'll be done. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, this Boxing Day will be a little disappointing cricket-wise because aren't we playing fucking, I don't know, who are we playing, West Indies or something?
Pakistan or something, isn't it? Could be West Indies. I don't know. Whoever it is, it doesn't matter. It's cricket.
I'd rather play Afghanistan. They gave us a fucking run for our money, didn't they? The Afghanis.
The Big Show came out and didn't use his legs and scored another 100.
Is he going to be playing in the final or he's done?
Yeah, last game. He played last night against South Africa.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, he's back. He just needed one game rest to kind of recuperate, and he was all good.
Just before we go, so when is the final? It's Sunday night, isn't it?
Sunday night, yeah. India will find a nice little doctored pitch they can use for that one.
So, we'd have to, in order to watch it, you'd have to go to bed at like 5 a.m, wouldn't you, to finish watching it?
Oh, yeah. I think 3:30, I think the game.
3:30, I don't think I'm going to make it.
Not for a one-day final.
No, well, it's a World Cup. I'll try to watch like the first innings. Maybe.
Yeah, I think that's where I'll be at.
Go to bed at like midnight or something.
India's going to win the thing. It's kind of disappointing, unfortunately.
No, I don't know if they will because we were having this discussion tonight. About the Cricket World Cup, and I said, wouldn't it be so good to beat India in the World Cup final and just fucking shatter them, the whole country, just fucking destroy them. And like this is, if you're not Australian, this gives you an insight into Australian sporting mentality, the way we approach sports, right? It's like, wouldn't it be so good to ruin a whole fucking country's aspirations and dreams and just shit on them?
It's not even about us winning.
Yeah.
It's just about anyone. Like I was cheering on the Kiwis so hard.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, wouldn't it be so good if they went the whole tournament undefeated? And then like Kiwis knocked them out. Yeah. And then they did that bullshit where they fucking changed the pitch at the last bit. I'm like, oh, fuck you. So
what about how they were helping fucking what's his name with his cramps and stuff? It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Don't fucking help him. Just leave him there. Leave him there to writhe around in pain. Don't fucking help them.
And Maxi did it.
Bite him on the ass. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it would just be so good. I feel like we are a really red hot chance because I feel like the pressure. There's a choke factor here, Greeno.
There is a little bit of choke factor. Like we're talking,
huge choke factor.
Cheering them on.
1 billion people. They haven't lost a game all tournament. They have dominated basically every game all tournament. But the other thing too is in India, the Australians, like, there's just as many people who think, like, half of the country thinks India is the best cricket team ever, but the other half of the country thinks Australia is it. Like, there are a lot of Indians who are fans of Australian cricket. Like, I know that doesn't make much sense, but trust me, it's a thing.
No, because they're just fans of the game. So,
Yes.
like, we like watching good cricket players play. Like,
That's right.
South Africa in their peak, we love watching them play. Like, even though, like, they beat us sometimes, like, well, this is just good cricket. Like,
Yeah.
you got to enjoy it.
You just need to look at any cricket thread on Twitter and see how many Indians are in there going, yeah, this is why Australia's the best. Australia is the best. Australia is the best. We love Australia, like blah, 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 blah. So there is a mindset in India that they can't beat us when it matters. Like that thing, it's bubbling under the surface. Like Australia's too hard. Like Australia is too good. Like, they believe it deep down in their fucking soul. So there's a big chance, like on the night, that they might fucking choke. Like the World Cup final where we beat Pakistan by like a fucking, you remember when we bowled them out for like 120 or whatever it was? Because everyone thought Pakistan was going to win. They had Wasim Akram and Waqar Yunus and all the best batsmen, and you know, they should have won that game, but they fucking choked. And there's a thing going where India might just do the exact same thing. So I'll be watching as much as I can before I crash out. Hey, look, it might be over in 4 hours if it goes the way I'm thinking. It could be a monumental fucking choke from India. I don't know, but I feel like there's a chance that it is. Do you know the odds on the game by the chance?
Australia's paying 296.
296 is good
India were
value.
$1.40. Yeah.
296 is solid value, I think.
Oh yeah, they get up
3-1.
The upset. Oh, in a head-to-head battle, yeah, it's crazy money. 2-1 in head-to-head battles.
2-1,
money.
yeah, 2-1 is a head-to-head battle. If let's say India opens the batting, right? Let's say Mitchell Stark comes out there and does his Mitchell Stark thing and gets let's say he gets 2 wickets. Well, let's say he gets 2 wickets in his first 4 overs. They will fucking crumble. They will crumble under the pressure. I'm telling you. We've got nothing to lose. It's all the pressure is on them.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Like we got 700 World Cups under our belt already. It's a home country. Everyone expects India to win, and
that's right.
They're undefeated. We've lost a bunch.
It reminds me of that football World Cup where Germany played Brazil in. I think it was the final. I think it was the World Cup final where Germany. I can't remember the year. So Germany played Brazil, and like, you know, Brazilian Neymar was talking about how God spoke to him, and because it was in Brazil, right? And he was like, God spoke to me and said, I need to do this for the country and stuff. And they were so invested. Germany was up like 5-0 at halftime. Like they did the German thing and they fucking destroyed Brazil. Yeah. And the coach, this is the story that came out. The coach actually said to the team, take it easy on them because you're breaking the country's hearts. Like don't be so good. Basically told them to ease up because you're murdering souls out there. There were people, Greeno, in the crowd after 20 minutes because Germany was like 3 or 4-0 up after 20 minutes. Yeah. They fucking destroyed them. There were people like crying uncontrollably because they had this idea in their head that Brazil was just going to win. Like it was meant to be. And then, the Germans came in and said, I do not think so. We should not play this way. And then they came in and fucking raped them, like in front of their whole country, And it said to them at halftime, look, take it easy on them, okay? It's not their fault. People were crying. It was tears crying. I feel like there's a big chance that could happen on Sunday night. So stay tuned.
We'll see.
And we'll see.
Anyway, we'll find out next week and we'll recap.
Yeah, absolutely.
See you guys then.
Bye-bye.
We'll always be bosom buddies, friends, sisters, and pals. We'll always be bosom buddies. If life should reject you, there's me to protect you.
If I say that your tongue is vicious,
if I call you uncouth,
it's simply that.
Who else but a bosom buddy. We'll sit down